Radhika, morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so we are in the inventory management. We were discussing the goods receipt yesterday. We have seen the normal goods receipt with reference to purchase order, and we have seen goods receipt special features also. Let's now work with a few more special features. I have not shown you the reversals or the cancellations. We have seen up to this one. Okay, so we have seen up to this one. I have not shown you the reversals and the cancellations. So let me just show you that one, and then we will further proceed with the other things. We started recording this. Can you see my screen, right? Can you all see my screen?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Password is Can you just give me a moment, please? Hello? Ram garu cheppandi. Oh, congratulations, project vachinda. No problem, Ram. నేను ఒక పని చేసేదా, నేను క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నాను. Shall I give you call back by 11:30? Thank you. I'm sorry. So I'm once again going with Migo, that is goods receipt. Okay, so you can carry out this Migo by or rather goods receipt by different ways. Okay, the one that you have all seen only is the one transaction. So once again, let me take you to the receipt step. You see here, I'm taking purchase order 300200003. I would just go and receipt it. Okay, so this is for front wheel. I would just go with item OK, right? So here, instead of 16 cartons, I'll go with only 2 cartons, right? Now, let me give the storage location. For example, here, I would go with check and okay, shipping compliances. Oops, 1 second. Go to purchase order. Did you guys are getting any background noise?
రాత్రి ఏమైనా ఫంక్షన్ జరిగింది సార్ మీ ఇంట్లో?
మా పక్కింట్లో జరిగిందండి.
పెద్ద పెద్ద పాత్రలో దొల్లిస్తున్నట్టు సౌండ్ వస్తుంటే
Can you hear me? ఇప్పుడు ఏమన్నా తగ్గిందండి నాయిస్? ఓకే, నేను దానికి ఏం చేయలేనండి. పక్కన వాళ్ళ పాత్రలన్నీ మళ్ళీ లారీలోకి ఎక్కిస్తా ఉన్నారు. ఓకే, సో now you see here I would just go with evaluating the shipping instructions, and let me go with check. Once I am done with check, what I can do is I can just go ahead and post the document. Hope I did not lost the connection. Okay, deficit of quantity so and so, and now I'll go and post it. Okay, so now see what I have done was I have posted 2 cartons of front wheel tires with reference to so and so P1. I've posted this stock into 0001 storage location. But after doing this, I've realized that I've made a mistake. What mistake? I've made a mistake of posting the stock into 0001. I should have actually posted to 0002. So what should I do? Hello?
We have to reverse the GR and create it again.
Exactly. I have to do reversal and then go with doing goods receipt once again. Alright, you see here, this is my material document. I would just go with the display the material document. At this moment, if I want, I can cancel this material document so and so 5000106 and repost it. Okay, I can cancel it from the same transaction Migo. You see here, you would see somewhere cancellation. Okay, cancelling what? Cancelling the document which is just posted. You need to remember all these movement types. While I am cancelling it, system will not ask me any kind of reasons. But if you want it, I can make this reason for movement enable also. But normally, while you are reversing, system will not ask you anything. Remember here, movement type for complete reversal is 102. Okay, at this moment, let me open the sheet, the Excel file. Where was that? This is that. You need to remember many movement types. You see here, I would add some of them, but you guys while practicing, you have to update yourself. Okay. You have seen so many movement types. 101 you have seen. Can somebody tell me what is 101? Goods receipt with reference
GR entry.
with reference to PO. This is what you have done, right? Okay. You have also done 103. What is that? Goods receipt with reference to PO. Then we have used a special feature. What is that? Goods receipt with reference to PO, but posted to GR locked stock, isn't it?
Locked stock.
This is what you have done it. You have done 105. What is that? Release block on GR stock, isn't it? This is what you have performed it. Yes or no? We have done this one yesterday. All these three movement types. Now,
Yes,
now let me introduce you one more movement type, or rather three more movement types. You see here, I am cancelling this particular material document which is posted with reference to movement type 101. So I am cancelling this material document. So while cancelling it, what happens is, if you want to cancel the document which is posted with reference to 101, the system uses the subsequent movement type for cancellation, or I would say complete reversal. Okay. Next, 103 you have done it. Now you could see here I have taken 20, isn't it? Quantity 20 each of front wheel tires with reference to material document so and so. For this movement type is 101. Now I am reversing this one. Therefore, movement type is 102. I would just go and post it. Okay, therefore the quantity 20 will be again reduced. Okay, now you see it got posted back. Same thing you see here. This is what I have done. Let me redo it once again. 103 goods receipt. I wanted to post it to 103. Did you remember what is 103? We have done it yesterday. Goods receipt with reference to purchase order, but the stock is into GR block stock.
Blocked.
Okay, look at here. Say item OK. Going with quantity of, for example, 2 more cartons. Okay, go with evaluating shipping instructions. Shipping instructions not followed. Compliance is only 30%. Therefore, I am putting this stock into GR block stock. Okay, now I would say post. Document is posted. Okay, display the document. You see this one. Now I wanted to see I've posted wrongly. This also I posted wrongly. It's not into GR block stock. So therefore I wanted to cancel this. What should I do?
$104 moment.
How do you know?
So it was 101. Immediate it was 102. So for 103 it will be immediate 104.
Exactly. Is it a wild guess or intelligent guess?
No, you just told that 101 immediate will be 102. So I thought in the similar way.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm saying it's an intelligent guess. You're right, absolutely correct. And that's the reason I've been redoing it once again. Now you see here, I'm going with cancellation. 104 reversal to GR block stock. What we have done with 103, you have posted the stock into GR block stock. By going this, you can actually reverse it. Is this the only transaction which I can use it for all these things? Is this the only transaction? No, there are not many transactions available in the older system. Your actual MeGo transaction, let me put it here. Your transaction MeGo is equivalent of so many transactions. MB01, MB02, MB03, MB04, MBST, MB1C, MB1A, MB1B. How many are there? I think there's 1 or 2 more. I entered 01, 02, 03, 04, ST, MBRL, return delivery. I think there is 1 more. I did not remember that one. But your MeGo transaction is equivalent of these many transactions. Now you tell me which one is easy to remember. Is it one transaction or all these transactions?
One transaction, that is MeGo.
Absolutely. Okay. These are not obsolete transactions. You can still use these things. Okay. All these things you could see even from MeGo also. Look at here. These are all the various transactions. Okay. So placing storage, removal from storage, transfer, posting, goods issue, subsequent, releasing, block on GR. Okay. And then display, cancellation, return delivery, goods receipt. There will be so many transactions possible. This MeGo is what we call it as an enjoy transaction, which was not there prior to the release version 4.68. Later on, all these things have come. Okay, so there's one thing called I think I remember I forgotten one thing. Let me just find out the one which I've forgotten. Release block on Chia. There used to be separate transaction. It's not Migo. No, it's not Migo. There used to be something, Andy. I did not remember. There is one more transaction. Migo is equivalent of 9 or 10 transactions. I think I have written only 8 or 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there used to be one more transaction. Okay. Nevertheless, you see here, we will use different transactions in the next 4 or 5 days. Right now, you see, I wanted to cancel this material document. If you want, you can use Migo, or else if you want, you can even go with cancellation. MBST will be there somewhere. You see here, cancel. Okay, you go with this. Is this the material document? 108. Yes, it is. Okay, you just execute it. Adopt plus details. When you go with it, you see here movement type is 104, and then you save it. Okay, so let me come back here. 104. Okay, reversal of GR into GR block stock. Okay, then what is 106? Tell me what is 106?
This is also reversal of GR. Reversal of GR from unrestricted.
I would say simply this way: putting the stock back into the GR block stock is 106. Okay, so like this, if you have one movement type for one particular purpose, the next immediate movement type is the reversal of the previous one. Okay, so this is how you should remember the movement types. Otherwise, you end up with remembering 30-40 movement types. So therefore, the best way is, I'll tell you wherever possible the best ways. You just go with those things. Okay, so now you have seen 101, 102, 3, 4, so on and so forth. I would just go with save. I've reversed it. Now let me show you transaction MV01. This is also goods received with reference to purchase order, as good as Migo, isn't it? So PO number, let me just slash n Migo. I wanted the PO number, so therefore I am coming back to goods receipt screen where I can pick the PO from here. So this is my PO number. Okay, now you see there is even you can use this transaction MB01 to post the goods receipts with reference to PO. If you know the movement type, you enter movement type straight away. If you do not know the movement type, there is no big deal. Movement type, you see here, PO to warehouse. Put it here. What is the movement type? 101 GR, goods received with reference to PO. What is the PO number? You enter the PO number and hit enter, or you can go with purchase orders. Give the purchase order number, give the item number. In case if you know the item number, you give it. If you don't know the item number, you need not have to give it also. Okay, I think I would have given 1. So therefore, okay, now you see here, I am posting this one. Just go with adopt plus details. Quantity, let's say I wanted to make it only 3. Now you see here, storage location, because you wanted to receive the material into storage location. Shipping instructions, you go with it. What is the stock type? X. Look at here. What is this X? quality inspection. Okay, no problem, you can post the stock into quality inspection. Now I would go with order. Okay, you have seen complete reversal using 102 movement type. Now let me show you, out of 30, this is MB03, the document that you see here. Let me show you. MB03 is meant for displaying the material document posted. Out of this 30, assume it 5 are damaged material. I wanted them to be sent back to the supplier. How do I do it? Only 5. Okay, look at here, /o MB return delivery, MBRL return delivery, a separate transaction which you have to use it, right? Which document are you going to refer it? You just specify the document number and then go and hit enter. Okay, out of which how much are you sending them back? 0.05 means 5 quantity. Format, you change it to 0.5, something like this. Now you go with adopt plus details. Look at here, movement type. What is the movement type? Okay, and you see here reason for movement type, it's a mandatory field. I can just go ahead, I would say poor quality. Okay, now if you want to see the header information, you could see here. If you want to see the item information, you could see here, and then you save it. Look at the movement type 122. So now what is 122? Can you guys tell me?
Partial reversal.
Do not say reversal, partial returns. Okay, then what is 125 or 123? Reversal of 123. For example, you have wrongly reversed it, you wrongly returned it, so you wanted to reverse it, you use 123. Okay, now let me show you one more thing. I'm going with goods receipt. Okay, once again I wanted to go with this 103 only. Okay, GR into block stock, item okay, quantity, let's say I wanted to take 0.5.
Venkat, reverse of 122 or 123?
Which one? Which one are you talking about, Sridhar? See, reversal of 123. Sorry, I'm sorry. I guess you are pointing to this one. You're right.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Now you see here I'm doing once again goods receipt into block stock, GR block stock. Okay. So I'm posting the goods into GR block stock. Check it. Okay. Evaluate it. Post it. Okay. So this is the material document. 112 is the material document. Now if I wanted to reverse, sorry, not reverse, reverse you have already seen it. Reversal of 103 is 104. Now if I wanted to return delivery from this document, are you getting my point? If I wanted to do return delivery, you see here I can do return delivery even from here also. With reference to which document? This document. What is the movement type? 124. Look at here. Okay. Why 124? You can come back here. 122 is normal return. 123 is reversal of 122. Then 124 is partial returns from GR block stock. Are you getting my point? Then 125 is reversal of 124. Are you getting my point? See, in the beginning when you are going for interviews, because you are going as a fresher at a consultant level, people will ask you all these movement types. You can't believe it, when I appeared for IBM interview, that was in 2004, though having 2.5 years experience, that guy asked me nearly 27, 28 movement types, one after another. Okay, so it's always good to remember the movement types. Even if you do not remember, don't get distorted. You can still say that I did not remember all the movement types, but I know how to pick a movement type. Like I said, you open the transaction in the older version or in the new version also. If you go into here, you would see movement type. You can just go there from here and then find out the movement type. Okay, like this. You can just go and find out the movement type. Like this, you can select it. Or in case if you are going with the older transactions, like return delivery, this is Migo. Okay, so this is the older one. You can give the movement type here, material document here, it will come automatically. Or else if it's a different transaction, you will have the movement menu option here from where you can find it out. Okay, so here I am giving reason and damage goods, check it and post it. Okay, so these are called reversals and return deliveries. Are you okay with it now? The reversals and return deliveries. Okay, once you are done with it, let me help you understand how the system checks under and over delivery tolerances. This is about delivery tolerances. This is a configuration thing. Let me help you first understand what is considered as under delivery tolerance and what is considered as over delivery tolerance.
Sir, I have a question.
Please.
Sir, can we enter the GR on basis of price?
GR on the basis of price? Can you enter it?
Yeah, because for services we enter the quantity as 1, right? And for that, in that case, is what we should do.
We are talking about goods receipt. We are not talking about services. That is different, Pavitra. Services, you can create a service master record, a service condition, and then you create a service order. Services are procured either at sub-item level, means below the item level, or if you do not know what service to be performed and for how much period, they are called unplanned services. For all unplanned services are procured in the form of limit orders. In case of limit orders, you can still go and procure with overall limit, expected limit. Did you remember the framework order? Pavitra, did you remember the framework order that we have discussed in purchasing?
Yes, sir.
The framework order which you have worked in purchasing need not have to receipt it. But if it is a service order, how do you know whether a particular PO line item is a service order or not? All those
limits order.
All those line items in the PO having KD combination. What is KD combination? K is cost center, D is service item category. K is account assignment category, D is item category. That is called KD combination. So all the PO lines having KD combination are considered as service items, and these are when you receive, when I say receive, you will be receiving as form of service. Okay, in the service entry sheets you can enter price. Okay, if you want to do that way, you have to have in the purchase order, you should not have the quantity. You should have quantity as 1, whereas unit of measure as AU, activity unit, not the pieces, kgs, unit, each, etc., etc. No, you should not have them. You should have AU, activity unit.
Yes, sir.
That we will discuss it in service order in detail. Right, now coming back to the delivery tolerances, look at here. I have ordered a purchase order for quantity of 800. This is my delivery, what we call order quantity. 800 is my order quantity if you look at it. Now, depending upon the configurations that you perform or that you maintain for your company code in the inventory management area, system throws some messages. Even you would have seen by this time, okay? I did not want to explain you those things in the beginning for one reason. Now let me explain you by doing goods receipt once again. Say, where is this? Return delivery? No. Material document? Yes. Alright, not a problem. Migo, you see here I'm doing once again goods receipt. You would have seen something called deficit of so and so. You know where exactly it is coming from? It is coming from the tolerances or the tolerance configuration settings that might be there for your company code. Sorry, one more moment. Migo, I have to change the movement type to 101 and then enter the PO number. For the first line, let's say I wanted to enter 0.2. Say item OK. Go to where tab, maintain the storage location. Go to purchase order, evaluate the shipping instructions, and now you go with check. You would see, you see here, deficit of purchase order quantity 13 cottons. This is called under delivery tolerance message. Okay, look at here now. For this particular, in the particular slide that we are seeing, the quantity ordered is 800. Let's say if I have maintained my under delivery tolerance as say 20%. Okay, so 20% of 800 is how much? Folks on the other side, you have to say 20% of 800. 160. 800 minus 160 is how much? 640, isn't it? 800 minus 160. Okay, 640. Or
Yes, sir, 640.
yeah, probably here this guy would have taken 10%, so therefore it is here. If you take 20% as under delivery, which is 160, means 160 minus 800 is 640. So your 640, if it is 600, this one maybe around here 640 will come. So anything between 640 to 800 will be considered as under delivery. Therefore, system will not give you any message. Anything beyond 640, if you are receiving, means what? Anything less than 640, if you are receiving, then system is going to give you this kind of message, deficit of so and so. Are you getting my point? The messages under delivery or over delivery messages will be triggered from the inventory management transactions if the quantity of material that you are receiving is beyond the tolerance limits. For example, here, if you are receiving anything less than 640, I mean to say on this side of the scale, then you receive a message. Anything within the tolerance, no messages. You don't receive any message. Similarly, on the higher side, if you say 10% of over delivery is acceptable, you set this 10% of 800 is 80, So up to 880, system will not give you any message. Beyond 880, system is going to give you a message saying that so and so quantity is exceed quantity exceeded by so and so. You will receive a message. That is called under delivery and over delivery tolerances. Where do I maintain? You have to go to configurations /and SPRO. I'll just show you that one quickly. Material management.
So who will give this tolerance percentage, sir?
You tell me who is supposed to give. Am I the consultant? Set myself that let me give 20% tolerance, or who is supposed to give?
Stores people,
Who is stores person?
end user.
You should not say end user. Process owner is the person who should give me this particular limits. Okay? You should say process owner or the business owners. Those people who are responsible for setting the processes in their application area. These are the people. Ideally, these are the managers, stores manager or whoever it could be, a warehouse manager. These are the people who will give me these tolerance limits. Therefore, I will maintain it here in the configurations.
Normally there will be core committee, sir, for before installing this SAP. The core committee members will meet and discuss about these things, and up to date day-to-day developments also early morning they are discussing and recommend some implementations. Because all these things.
Okay, you said core committee. What is core committee consisting with?
Core committee means the GM, purchase, finance, and production, all these sections.
అంతే కదండి మరి నేను చెప్పింది కూడా వాళ్ళేనండి. They are nothing but the process owners or the managers or the people who know in and out about various activities of their application area. Application area, process area, department, you call it with different names, but they are responsible for their individual organizational unit.
Yes, sir.
One second అండి. పెట్టుకో పంపేసి. Okay, so these are the people. Your core team or core committee is nothing but the list of individuals from the respective departments, be it managers or whatever, directors, it doesn't matter as long as they know the processes completely, what's happening in their particular respective area. They should be knowing it, and these are called core team members. And core team members are nothing but the process owners, and process owners are the people with whom we, the functional contacts or the functional consultants, will be interacting with during blueprinting stage to collect the requirements of the respective process area. Okay, so you see here, set tolerance limits. So this is where I will be maintaining it. Okay, you will have three tolerance keys, B1, B2 and VP. Okay, apart from that you will also have other things. Okay, even this VP is the moving average price tolerance, and this is our B1, B2 is our price tolerance. And also this one, the one that you see here, this is also actually coming from the purchasing value key. If you look at your material master, you would have maintained a PVK, purchasing value key, where you can also give under delivery and over delivery tolerances. This will also trigger from that particular place. Okay, if you go into purchasing view, you see here, where is this? Under delivery tolerance of 10, over delivery tolerance of 5. It means what? Based on the purchase order quantity, 10%, less than 10% it accepts it, greater than 10%, 5% more than order quantity also, you don't see any message. Let me show you here. Now you see what's your total quantity. If I don't enter anything over here, okay, quantity ordered is 16, quantity received is 2.5. 10% means what? 1.6. If I go with 15, now you tell me, are you expecting any message? Of course, already received is 2.5. 15 minus 2.5, which is set 12.5. If I go with 12.5, now can you guys tell me, will it going to give me any message or not?
No, sir.
Why?
It is within the tolerance limit.
Exactly. Do you see any message? Not at all. If you go with say 12, have a look at it. Check. It is still within the limits, isn't it? 12 plus 2.5. How much is it? 14.5. What is this one? 16. Okay. 16. 10% of that is. If I go with 11 point, for example, 3, 5. Check it. Now you see deficit, isn't it? So based on the purchasing value key that you assign to the material, okay, this will be dictated, right? I'll just go and post it, right? So this is about your under delivery and over delivery tolerances. Then there is something called order price quantity variance. Look at this. There are certain materials where you order them in the form of pieces, but you pay them by kgs. Are you getting my point? You purchase them, for example, mangoes. Okay, being of course summer is already gone, but think like you are still in the summer. You purchase mangoes. Okay, you purchase mangoes in such a way that you have purchased 20 pieces of mangoes. Okay, you order mangoes of say 20 kgs, sorry 20 pieces, and the expectation is that you have given instruction to the person who is bringing mangoes to your home, that you have asked him to bring each mango of say for example half a kg. Okay, and you have asked him to bring 20 pieces, mangoes of 20 pieces, each piece is of weight 0.5 kg. So how many you receive it?
10.
10 kgs, right? And obviously the mango vendor, okay, that guy charges you in the form of kgs. Okay, so in such cases what happens is you will come across, for example, instead of 0.5 kg mango, if that guy brings only 0.3 kg mango, again 20 pieces, you still receive 20 pieces, but you don't get the quantity that you are expecting. Instead of 10 kgs, you might receive only 6 kgs. But how much are you paying? You are paying for 10 kgs. So in such cases, there is something called order price quantity variance. Look at this view. Purchase order is raised for 20 pieces, and each piece you are expecting it by 2 kgs for 2 kgs, and the price, the amount to be paid to the vendor is based on kg. So here order price quantity variance equal to, you have to 20 multiplied by what is the total value of the order value. I mean, you can say order value. What is the order value? 20 multiplied by 2, which is 40. 40 multiplied by 20, 800. Order value is 800 here. Now look at receipt. At the time of receipt, you have received 20 pieces, but the target quantity, okay, in the form of kgs is 3.5. So here, if you are receiving, what is the value of material that you are receiving? 30 multiplied by 20, which is nothing but 700 rupees worth of material you are receiving. What is the worth of material that you have ordered? 800. This 100 rupee difference is called order price quantity variance. Okay, how much tolerance can you accommodate? How much differentiation can you accommodate without giving any message? How much variance you can accept it without throwing any message, and how much variance you can use it for throwing message. I mean, whether it is error or a warning. You see here, these are the configuration settings. When you look at a set tolerance limits, you have something called B1 and B2. Even for your company code also, it will be there. The company code is 77. Is this correct? I think so. Nissan. You see here, for 777, B1, B2 are already there. B1, order price quantity variance, error message. B2, order price quantity variance, warning message. So if you go with it, you see here, percentage, 50% you have stated here as a lower limit. Upper limit is 50%. Anything beyond these limits, it's going to give you an error message. Okay, if the price difference is more than 50%, if I have to look at this example, the one that we are looking at the screen, this is 800, right? 20 multiplied by 20 multiplied by 2, which is 800, isn't it? If it is here, it is 700, 20 multiplied by 35, so the difference is only 100. If the difference, okay, so here instead of 35, if it is 15, you receive 20 pieces, but the total weight is only 15 kgs. So it means what? 15 multiplied by 20, which is going to be how much? 300 worth. Out of 800 material, 800 rupees worth of material, you received only 300. Then what is the difference? Difference is more than 50%, isn't it? Therefore, you receive an error message as per these settings. Right? So depending upon how your process owner wanted to set it up, you have to choose one difference tolerance limit for error message, another tolerance limit for the warning message. This is for the order price quantity variance. Right? So you can go and work with these things. Right? So these are all what we call it as special features of the goods receipt. Now, let me just go and specify one more thing, other goods receipt. There is one more thing called other goods receipt or miscellaneous goods receipt. Let's try to understand, are these the only receipts that we have, or are there any other receipts which are possible? Like we discussed in our demo yesterday of inventory management, I said planned receipts, goods receipt with reference to PO, goods receipt with reference to production order. I don't have production order, so therefore I am not showing you this one. This is unplanned. Okay, so I specified even this also planned. This is unplanned. Under unplanned receipts, you can go with Okay, under unplanned receipts, you see here goods receipt, others, goods receipt without PO, without production order, like this. You have so many things. Now I'm going to perform that one. Receipts without reference to a purchase order or production order. Okay, Now you see here, without purchase order, without production order, you can do it, or you can do goods receipt without reservation also. And then you have something called initial entry of inventory data, that is your own data, your own stock you are bringing from your old system to SAP system. Okay, so these are the three examples for the without planning. Okay, now let me just go and show you this one. Vendor's vehicle. Okay, this is a different one. Let me show you this one first. Even for this, okay, other goods receipt is not there. Let me introduce you one more transaction for goods receipt. This is called miscellaneous goods receipt. You see here, other goods receipt or miscellaneous goods receipt, transaction code MB1C. Movement time. Here is the one. Like I said few minutes ago, if your interviewer asks you what is the movement type for goods receipt without purchase order, okay, don't get disheartened. You can still say, I did not remember the movement type, but I know how to pick up a movement type. How? Keep your cursor in the movement type. Go to menu option movement. What are you doing? You are doing receipt. Yes, click on receipt. Receipt, are you doing with reference to PO or without reference to PO? If it is with reference to PO, you would have gone to somewhere else. This is without reference. So without reference of what? Purchase order. Go and choose purchase order. Without reference to purchase order, where would you want to keep the material? Into which stock type? Unrestricted, quality inspection or block? Just go with it. Right? That's all you have to do. Your plant 77C, the storage location 0001. And then you specify your material here. What material would you like to receive? Just pick and choose the material. Okay. For example, railway tie. How much quantity? Let's say 5. Hit enter. Okay. Now there is some problem. This account MMFI integration problem. The next step that we are going to discuss is MMFI integration, as I told you yesterday. That deals with which account will be updated for which particular scenario. Right now, the configuration is missing for other goods receipt, because like I told you yesterday, any inventory transaction if you are performing, provided if there is any financial impact, your MM module needs to be integrated with FICO module. Okay, so here for this particular thing there is something which is missing. Let me just go and check it. Okay, so INT GBB so and so ZOB is missing. Okay, if you can just, it means these are the 5 parameters which system uses, or rather look at here. These are the 5 parameters which we will discuss in detail in the MMFI integration. But right now, because there is something which is missing here, so I wanted to go there and maintain it. I'll just go with proceed, cancel, account assignment. Okay, GBB, it is asking, you see here, INT GBB, something missing, ZOB 3000. So here, even if you go here also, there is no, you don't see this one. Okay. Okay, so let me take you to this one, GBB. This is what we call it as offsetting entry. Your chart of accounts in which the accounts are maintained. So therefore, INT is your chart of accounts. Now, ZOB, valuation modifier. This is the one which is actually missing. So ZOB, I'm sorry, ZOB is here. This is what we call it as general modifier. Your account, your valuation class is 3000. So if you go here, you see it's not fine. You can't see this one. But I know exactly what is it missing here. If you simply go like this, general modifier ZOB, valuation class 3000. Even this is not there. Why was it not there? Just give me a minute, let me check it out. I expected it to be there. Okay, this is already there. Okay, I'll just do one thing. I will quickly, remove this error by going into configurations. I know exactly what is missing, so therefore what I do is I'll go into valuation and account assignment. Why this is coming, I will tell you in MMFI integration. Right now I'll just go to something called account determination. Account determination without wizard, group together valuation areas. This is the one which is missing here. Your plant 777C. So here I just wanted to maintain the standard valuation grouping code 0001. Now if you just go back, okay, of course the screen is not getting refreshed. Let me redo it once again. MB1C, movement type 501, 77C, front wheel tire, quantity 5, you won't see any error now. Okay, go and save it. Okay, now come back to your Excel file, look at here, what is the movement type 501? Goods receipt without PO, right? Then like this you have to perform so many things and try to understand, learn lot of movement types. Movement type 101, receipt without production order. Let's say your PP module is not integrated yet on the SAP system, but still production is going on in the plant. You produce lot of materials, products in your day-to-day operations. Just because PP module is yet to be integrated into SAP, you cannot, simply keep them aside, right? PP module is not integrated, but sales module is integrated. So you wanted to sell the product. If you want to sell the product, that product needs to be there in the stock. So how do you do that? Look at here. Movement type 521. Okay. Same material or a different material, no problem. You just go ahead and do it. So what is the movement type for the goods receipt without PO? Okay, 521, right? 521 GR without production order. Okay, you will have few more things here, although I am not specifying. Okay, although I am not specifying, I want you guys to fill these gaps. For example, 501 is goods receipt without purchase order into warehouse stock, which is nothing but the unrestricted use stock. I wanted to post goods receipt into quality inspection stock. What should I use? Look at here. Without PO only, but I wanted the stock to be defaulted into quality inspection. Movement type receipt without PO into QI. What is the movement type? 503. Okay. So 503 GR without PO into QI. So what is 502?
Without PO,
502 and it?
Reversal of GR.
Okay.
Reversal of GR.
You're right, sir. Okay, into block stock 505. Okay. GR without PO into your stock. Okay, reversal of 501, 504 is reversal of 503, 506 is reversal of 505. How do you know? Look at here. You simply have to movement type reversal receipt without PO from unrestricted. It means what? Reversal of 501 is 502. You getting my point? So this is how you have to fill, you have to learn many more movement types. Can you do that? While practicing it, I want you guys to go with each of the movement type. You also create your own way of, remembering the movement type. I remember it this way, but you might be having a better technique. You follow with your technique. Okay, let me show you one more important movement type. Okay, this step is carried out when we are implementing SAP, or rather when we are going live. For all the materials or the material stocks that you have in your old system, they need to be brought into SAP. How do you do that? Keep the cursor here, movement type, receipt without purchase order to one second. Why am I not finding it? I'm not seeing it. There used to be a movement type. 561. Okay, this one, receipt for initial entry of stock balances into your own stock. Okay, I don't know why I'm not finding it here. Something should be there here. It's not there. But 561 is the goods receipt. Okay, into own stock. Okay, and there are few more things. Let me introduce you them. Do you know what is co-product and byproduct? Can you guys answer my question? Co-product and byproduct. Sundarrao garu. Can you guys hear me? Co-product ante enti, byproduct ante enti?
No idea, sir.
No idea na.
So co-product is nothing but it is a similar kind of item which is manufactured along with this one. The byproduct is nothing but when you are manufacturing something, there is a the product which comes out as a byproduct of that thing. Say, take example of when you are producing oil from groundnut, the groundnut cake which comes out as a byproduct of this one.
Exactly. Okay. Co-product is the one which comes along with the main product, whereas byproduct is the one on which you require a little bit of work, but you can use that for a different purpose. Okay. In case if you are receiving materials, you see here, byproduct. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I should be in the receipt. Byproduct. Okay. You see here. Here is the initial stock own entry 561 moment. I did not find it in the beginning, but you see here. This is where you should go. I think I went with without purchase order where you don't see that. Okay, initial like this you have to go. Now you see here byproduct. If you are doing goods receipt for a material, along with it if you are getting other things also, the movement type for the byproduct is 531. Okay, from here also you could see that one. Receipt of byproduct into your stock. Okay, receipt of byproduct into your stock. Okay, so then 541 we have a different thing. Even for co-product also I should be having one more. One moment. Yeah, I don't think you require a movement type for co-product. Co-product means along with the main product you are getting another product, so that itself is considered as a separate product. So therefore, I think for that it still uses the same 101 movement type. Okay, so this is for the goods receipt of initial entry into inventory data, movement type 561, without purchase order 501, 503, 505, without production order 521, 523, 525. What is 523 and 525? Sundarao garu or Pavitra, I think మీ ఇద్దరే మాట్లాడుతూ ఉన్నారు.
GR block stock for without purchase order.
523 is GR without production order into quality inspection. 525 GR without production order into block stock. Pretty simple అండి. మీకు కనిపించడానికి ఇక్కడ 30-40 లాగా కనిపిస్తాయి మీరు మూమెంట్స్ అన్ని క్యాప్చర్ చేసుకుంటే, కానీ యూ ఎండ్ అప్ విత్ రిమెంబరింగ్ ఓన్లీ 10 or 15. ఎందుకో తెలుసా? 501 without purchase order into unrestricted stock, 502 reversal, 503 with GR without purchase order into QI, 504 reversal of 503, 505 GR into block stock without purchase order. Okay, 506 GR without purchase order దానికి రివర్సల్. అంటే మీరు ఒక 501 గుర్తు పెట్టుకుంటే 6 మూమెంట్స్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ వచ్చేస్తాయి. Similarly, if you remember 521, rest of the 6 movements you should able to say. Same case with 531 also. So this is how you should be working on it. So for example, end of the inventory management, if you come across 40-50 movement types, no need to worry. మీరు అన్ని గుర్తుపెట్టుకోరు. మీరు గుర్తుపెట్టిన మోస్ట్లీ 1/3 or 1/4 ఉంటాయి అంతే. From there you can analyze it. Right? So these are about various movement types. Then there is something called automatic PO creation upon goods receipt. I need to do some configuration settings for that, so therefore I will not be doing it today. I will start configurations tomorrow or maybe day after, once I complete the goods issues. Or if you want to go ahead with goods receipt configuration first and then we will see goods issues, in that case I will go and start doing configurations for goods receipt step tomorrow. There I'll show you this one and the GR slip printing also. What happens is, there is a possibility that you want material urgently. You know the supplier, so you have contacted the supplier. He said, boss, I can supply the material immediately, but I need a PO. Assume it, your buyer is on holiday today. Okay, he is the only person who can raise the purchase order, but he is on holiday. Your supplier is ready to supply the material immediately in the next half an hour, 1 hour. Okay, so what will you do for that situation? There are options possible that upon goods receipt based on the amount or the quantity of the material that you are receiving with reference to receipt, PO will be created automatically as if it was created by the buyer, provided there are certain conditions. You have to have master record, vendor master, material master. You have to have info record existing for that. You have to have something called auto PO indicator maintained in the material master, vendor master, and you have to have something called standard purchase organization assigned to the company code. Okay, so there are certain prerequisites that needs to be filled. So those prerequisites, and also for which movement type, okay, for which movement type this auto PO creation should be taking place. Is it 101 or is it something else? Okay, so if you maintain, if you maintain all these prerequisites, including configurations and master data setup, based on the data available in your material document, that is goods receipt document, PO will be created automatically. Okay, so this particular piece I need to do configurations. So therefore, okay, I think we still have some 15 minutes time. Why to wait until tomorrow? Can I do it right away? Are you guys okay?
You can start tomorrow, sir.
What about others, Sandy?
I'm okay, sir.
You are okay with tomorrow or today?
Today.
Okay, so let's do it. Sundara, 10-15 minutes time only. We will complete this.
Okay, sir.
Okay, first thing in the configurations, let me take you to the configurations. Back to configurations. Under goods receipt step, where is that? Inventory management, goods receipt. You see here, create purchase order automatically. You go to this place. For 101 movement type, you wanted PO to be created automatically. What is 101 goods receipt? For this, PO to be created automatically. This check should be there. This is configuration number 1. What is configuration number 2? Your standard purchase organization to be assigned to your plant. Purchase organization plant assignment, I told you in the beginning, is mandatory. Purchase organization company code assignment is not mandatory. Okay, so therefore I have to go back to my configuration. Why is it getting disconnected? Pavitra, can you please check on your end? Is the system available?
Yeah, give me a moment, sir.
Next year వచ్చింది సార్ సాటర్డే.
It seems some problem with system.
వాళ్ళ దగ్గర పవర్ పోయిందేమోనండి.
అందుకే సార్ ఈ ప్రాబ్లం వద్దని నేను ఇక్కడికి ఆపేయమన్నా.
భగవంతుడు మీ మాట ఆలకించినట్లున్నాడు సార్. భగవంతుడు మీ మాట ఆలకించినట్లున్నాడు.
Sir, I'm also not able to log in.
Yeah, I think అతని దగ్గర పవర్ పోయిందేమోనండి సిస్టమ్ అతని దగ్గర.
లేదు సార్, సుందరరావు గారు ప్రాబ్లం క్రియేట్ చేశారు.
సుందరరావు గారు ఏం సార్ ఇట్లా మీరు కన్యర చేస్తే ఎలాగండి?
లేదండి, మీకు ట్రబుల్ కాకూడదు చెప్పాను ఆపేద్దామని.
So, all right, sir. Let's stop it today because you have to ensure that the configuration step. I am sure I would have done it because when I go with the enterprise structure, I normally used to perform there itself. Okay, so that step you need to have it, and you should go to Material Master, maintain auto PO indicator in the purchasing view, and vendor master also. You go to vendor master, go to purchasing view, maintain auto PO indicator. Then you create an info record. Info record is required. Without info record, system will not create PO automatically. So if you have these three prerequisites fulfilled from master data perspective, and two configuration things maintained from the configuration perspective, then you should either use MB0A or MB01, not MIGO, not MB1C. MB0A or MB01. These are the two transaction codes. You have to use it to create PO automatically based on the GR data. Okay, so that we will see tomorrow.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you very much, and we will stop it here unless you have any questions.
Yeah, I have a question. Sir, we have not discussed any tolerances regarding the purchase order or purchase requisitions on basis of prices.
Correct. ఇప్పుడు డిస్కస్ చేస్తాం రిసిప్ట్ అప్పుడు పర్చేస్ ఆర్డర్ లో ఎందుకు డిస్కస్ చేయాలి చెప్పండి. You tell me why should I discuss the difference of price. I know what exactly you are asking. I have maintained price of 10 rupees in Mittal Master, but in PO order price I have stated as 15. That's what you are asking, right?
No, the requisition we have received only for 100, and but the purchase order we have to create is something as 500 rupees or something.
Sorry. ఒకసారి చెప్పండి మళ్ళీ.
In the requisition, the total requisition amount is approved only for the 100 rupees.
You mean to say, but approved amount means what? Are you talking about budget or are you talking about quantity or price?
Price.
So requisition లో 100 rupees మీరు PO లో purchase requisition 100 rupees maintain చేశారు. Okay. Now you create a PO.
PO, but we have came to know that the prices has increased and 500 rupees. But there should be some tolerance amount, right?
అట్లా ఎట్లా
We
పెట్టుకుంటారండి?
cannot go and simply change in the purchase order.
No. The concept is wrong, Pavitra. Let me tell you this way. మీరు purchase requisition లో price approved price అని ఎట్లా అంటారు మీరు? You know what? When you create a purchase requisition, irrespective of the info record, the price will always be taken from material master. That's not the price that you have negotiated. The price that is approved, you are talking, you are saying approved price.
In my sense, the approved is not in that way, sir. Actually, for each account assignment, they'll have some approved budget. That budget will be approved by the manager or something. They'll say that this should not be cross about this.
అంటే మీరు టోటల్ వాల్యూ గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నారు అంతే కదా? అది నేను అందుకే అడిగింది మిమ్మల్ని ఫస్ట్ లోనే. ఆర్ యూ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ప్రైస్, ఆర్ యూ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ బడ్జెట్ ఆర్ క్వాంటిటీ? క్వాంటిటీ అయితేనండి, ఈవెన్ క్వాంటిటీ అయినా ప్రైస్ అయినా కూడా పిఆర్ కి పిఓ దగ్గర యూ నీడ్ నాట్ హ్యావ్ టు validate it. You know why? What is the guarantee that you receive the full quantity that you maintain in the order? Need not be. Your buyer can go there in the middle and change the quantity, provided if that is the approved process. So you should be validating the quantity at the time of receiving, not at the time of ordering. మీకు కావాలి అంటే yes, నేను మెయింటైన్ చేయగలను. I can restrict the system in such a fashion that PR quantity greater than PO quantity or PO quantity greater than PR quantity and you can do configuration by configurations or by if there is no configuration, you identify a baddie in the purchase order application, go to the place where you can add your own piece of code and then specify whenever you are clicking enter or whenever you are going with check button, look for the quantity or the price maintained in the purchase requisition. If it is matching, only then accept it. If not, throw error. I can do that. But మీకు అక్కడ అవసరం లేదు. మీ దగ్గర ప్రాసెస్ ఎలా సెటప్ చేస్తారో నాకు తెలియదు, బట్ అక్కడ స్టాండర్డ్ అయితే అవసరం లేదు మీకు. there is not necessary or it's not required that each and every customer will follow standard process. Customers will have their own processes. That's their business, right? So me process enter chepte probably I can think of it and tell you how they would have done it.
Okay, I'll try to add here for this part.
Yes, sir.
I'll take you an example. You have oil, market prices. Oil fluctuates. The price of the oil fluctuates.
Correct.
Basically, when you create an order, what happens is we create one-time orders for a financial year.
Yeah.
Okay, those orders are all based on a particular period of, say for a quarterly period. The prices fluctuate, but we create orders for yearly.
Yes.
Okay, so when there is a price change, one has to update. Like, who has to update? The buyer has to amend the purchase order price. So when he amends the price, again it triggers the workflow, and that's the secondary. But there should be a price tolerance check on a purchase order that is within the tolerance level, or above the tolerance level. That's what the question which Savita, I think, is asking.
Yeah, right.
అట్లాంటి చెక్ అయితే స్టాండర్డ్ సిస్టమ్ ఏం లేదండి, బట్ ఐ కెన్ టెల్ యూ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్ టు యాడ్ వాట్ సుధాకర్ has said. There is something called material ledger. Okay, so ఈ మెటీరియల్ లెడ్జర్ లో ఏం చేస్తారు అంటే, you can maintain the price of a material as standard for a certain period of time. Take for example crude. Crude in this period, though the market price fluctuates every minute, let's say I'm going to pay, or I'm going to, you see, the actual payment you should be paying according to the market rates only. But for internal accounting purpose, you can maintain the price of crude as, say, $95 a barrel or $100 a barrel. You can maintain it like that. If you use material ledger, you can maintain a price of a material as a fixed rate for some period of time, that we have to define what is the period. Not only that, you can maintain 3 currencies for the same material. Right? In such cases, whatever you're asking, that is possible. Market price will be 101.2 or 103.5 or 102.6, depending upon the day on which you raise the purchase order. But for internal accounting purposes, your provided material ledger is set up, then it always be taken, the price will be taken from material ledger for the internal accounting, but maybe at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year, because you are using material ledger, there will be an additional steps that you need to carry out in order to adjust the differential price between that particular quarter and the PO that's been raised on a specific date. That is from the accounting side.
Okay.
So as such, there is no tolerance levels on a price, in nutshell.
Standard lo levandi. Standard lo there are no, but there is one tolerance key called VP, moving average price. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Moving average price.
I'll tell you that the way it is to be used, but that's not the way which Pavitra is asking. Moving average price tolerance అని ఒకటి ఉందండి. అదేంటంటే, let's say when you raise the purchase order, let's say in a metal muscle you have a price of 10 rupees for a particular material. If you raise the purchase order for a price of 12, then what's the difference? 2 rupees. System looks for the difference between the order price versus material master price. Based on that, it's going to give you a message that is called moving average price tolerance. Kind of, I'm adugutunnadu adi kaadu, but she is talking from the budgetary perspective. If you are talking about price, the individual item price perspective, yes, I do have a tolerance. But if you are talking from the budget perspective, there is altogether different things needs to be configured. In the controlling module, you have to create the budgets, the budget checks. If the budget reaches 50%, message number 1, what kind of message? If the budget reaches 70%, different kind of message. If the budget reaches 90%, different kind of message. If the budget overshoots, up to what extent you can overshoot, 5%, 2%, 3%. Based on that, you can do it. We did this for Kraft Foods, which is, a food manufacturing company, or it's into different things. We have the budgetary checks. So if the budget comes to around 70, if you have already consumed 70% of budget on a certain material or a certain product, and then you try to create a purchase requisition for another, say, 20% or 20 quantity, then it's giving you one message. or let's say if the budget of a certain metal is 95% consumed, if you try creating a PR or a PO, then you have got only 5% budget. System allows you to create a purchase requisition or order up to 1-2% extra than 100%. That's their process. So in case if you are talking about from the budgetary perspective, you need to do these settings in the configuration from the controlling module perspective, because these budgetary checks are validated when you raise the purchase order. Unless, purchase requisition is just an internal document. There is no guarantee that all the purchase requisitions will be converted into PO. Right? So therefore, the budgetary checks, if you are talking, then yes, in the FICO controlling module, you will be having validations. If you are talking from the price perspective per item, I have a setting in the goods receipt, BP. I have shown you B1, B2, order price quantity variance. Right? At the same time, same place, you have BP, moving average price tolerance. You can set it up over there.
Sir, I'll give an example. Actually, the requisition has been created for the total value of 500 rupees, and now we have the purchase order has to be modified to the 1500 rupees. There is 1000 rupees of variance. So when we are changing the purchase order to 1500 rupees, then there should be an error message that it is more the purchase requisition value and the purchase order value difference is more than 1000.
That's what I'm saying. That is possible. That is straightforward configuration. Pavitra, you are talking about value. I'm talking from the quantity perspective. Okay, the price per item is always going to be same, because the value you are talking about value. How will you come at the value? It's nothing but quantity multiplied by price, right? So in purchase requisition, you will have a price of 10 rupees. In purchase order, you will not have a price of 15 rupees, because the value you are talking about, I'm talking about price here. The price will be defaulted from info record into the purchase order. Whereas in case of purchase requisition, price will be picked from the material master. So assume it, you have a price of 10 rupees in the material master. Assume it, you have created PR for quantity 10. So what is your PR value? 10 multiplied by 10, which is 100, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now you convert this PR into PO. While converting it, you change the quantity from 10 to 50. Whereas the price, you need not have to touch it, because provided if there is any info record for that material with whatever the vendor that you choose, price will automatically get defaulted. You need not have to do anything for that, right? So therefore, quantity 10 is getting converted into 50. Here you have a validation. System will not allow you, provided if I set the configuration for that. It says order quantity exceeded by requisition quantity by 40. You will get a message.
Okay.
That is possible, but do not say from the value perspective. It is from the quantity perspective.
No, but what I'm saying is that quantity is same, but the price is increasing. So in that case, you need a message.
Price. How can it increases? You tell me. I told you PO, while creating PO, price will always be defaulted from info record or a contract, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to enter the price manually.
Yeah, but see, the info record will be, maybe I have created the 1 year back. The info record price is 1 year back price, and so it will pull the 1 year back prices. Now the prices has been increased, so the price is different. So I want that message. This is the there is a difference of price this much.
There is a message. What I am saying is, there is a message, but the price which you maintain in the PO will not get validated with the PR value, PR price. The price maintained in the PO will be validated against the material master price that is maintained in the material master. For that,
but if you don't have a material master?
Come on, without material master, are you talking about indirect material?
Yeah.
where you have no material master, but you have a purchase requisition where you have maintained some price. That is called non-stock material. Non-stock
Your voice is not clear, sir.
How is it now? Is it audible to you, everybody?
Now, okay.
Okay. So if you are talking about non-stock material where you do not have any material master, obviously what you have to do is you create a PR with account assignment category, and the price you will be maintaining, which is a manual price. Okay. And similarly, when you go info, I'm talking about info record here also. Info records can be created. I've shown you only one way of creating info record, that is material master and vendor master. You can also create an info record based on material group and vendor master, which I have told you because it's not required. I mean, I thought probably to that level is not required, so that's the reason I haven't explained you. You can create a material master based on the material group also. So if you have created material, I mean, whatever PO that you are creating or purchase requisition that you are creating, you would be having material group. Without material group, you cannot create PO, right? So therefore,
Yes.
provided if you want automation, you create a material group based info record with the vendor, and then the price will be defaulted into PO. Let's say you do not want the automation, you want it manually, you enter manually. In that case, if you want a comparison between the price maintained in the PO and the price maintained in the PR, then you have to go with your own way. There is no standard setting.
Okay.
As much as possible, SAP recommends use the standard process program so that your testing can be minimized, the program efficiency will be faster. If you want to add your own piece of code, system takes few milliseconds or microseconds. Okay, performance related issues. So therefore, as much as possible, use standard programs or standard process. If it is not possible, if your process strictly demands customization, no issues. You have to go with that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other questions?
And if you want to add this will be done by the ABAPers, right?
Exactly. At what point of time you want validation, you have to tell the ABAPer. When I hit enter or at the time of coming out of the price field in the purchase order, those things you have to tell to the ABAPer. If you want to, when you are coming out of the price field in the PO, if you want the validation, they have to write field exit. Okay, if you want to the validation to trigger between the comparison of PR price versus PO price, once you hit enter, then you will have to find out a different place to enter his code. So depending upon at what point of time you wanted this validation, based on that, the ABAPers have to identify the place where they can write their own logic.
Okay.
Okay? Anything more?
Sir, I have, it is regarding the, not this regarding the purchasing or this inventory, but this information, because in my previous organization, we used to create a purchase orders in mainframe, and by end of the day, all the purchase orders will be created in SAP automatically. They'll just refer the mainframe purchase orders. What is this link?
You see, you are creating orders in mainframe, which is a different application, different platform. End of the day, that application, the PO needs to be available in the PO because in the SAP, because subsequent activities are performed. Probably the subsequent activities are performed in SAP system in your previous organization. So that's how they have created an interface. So what they do is, in such cases, they would have created an inbound interface. Inbound interface to SAP. It means what? SAP has to fetch, SAP has to pull data from the mainframe system. So here they create an inbound program in such a way that this program pulls or extracts information from your mainframe system. Okay, so then they would have scheduled this program to run it every day night or every day early morning or morning, whatever time. Therefore, all the purchase orders created in the last 24 hours will get automatically come and placed in the SAP system. For that, we have to purchase order. We have something called order. Okay, there is an IDOC type called ORDER or orders. There was a IDOC type. So what they would have done was, in the mainframe, when you create a purchase order, you enter data into different fields. They would have identified all those fields. That field data they would have taken into Excel file or a flat file, which is text file. The data from the text file is being pulled into IDOC. In the IDOC, you have various segments. Each segment will have certain fields of purchase order. So therefore, they would have mapped field of mainframe application into Excel field, from Excel field to SAP IDOC segment fields. Therefore, when the IDOC is processed in the SAP system, the mainframe PO, you will see it here as if it's created in the SAP. That is called interface building.
Is it a PI integration?
Possibly yes, because if you want to use BI, you extract all the POs by running BI interface, and then you dump it into Excel file or a flat file. You keep that file in SAP directory, and then you upload the data. You take the data from that file or directory while running this inbound interface program, end of the night or end of the day or whatever time.
Yeah, the PI integration, the PI will convert that IDOC, convert the file into an IDOC, which will be pulled into SAP ERP.
Correct.
GCC.
Correct.
Okay, sir. Understood.
Alright. Thank you all, and see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
సార్ నిన్న ఫైల్ అప్లోడ్ చేయలేదు సార్.
నిన్ను చేయలేదా? సారీ
లేదు,
అండి, మర్చిపోయాను. అయితే ఒక్క నిమిషం వెయిట్ చేస్తాను. తొందరగా చేస్తాను. అదే చదివి.
And one more thing, Venkat, the Price Water Coopers, the material ఉంది, అది అప్లోడ్ చేశారా మీరు, లేకపోతే?
అది చేయలేదు అనుకుంటానండి, చేస్తాను అయితే ఈరోజు. మై డాక్యుమెంట్స్.
అండ్ సార్ నేను అది యూరోస్ గురించి అడిగాను సార్ కదా, అది సాల్వ్ అయింది. ఎందుకంటే నేను ఇప్పుడు పర్చేస్ రిక్విజిషన్, పర్చేస్ ఆర్డర్స్ రైజ్ చేసిన అన్ని